happens in such subtle ways in this series. There's a character played by Sienna Miller who notes in one of the early episodes, the bees are all gone. I mean, it's not like a thunderbolt or anything. It's just like it happened. They were here. The pollinators are all gone. Scott, when you produced this film, was there any discussion about having some sort of warning attached to it? Because it is, I mean, it's one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen. And often when I say that, the next question is, don't go see it. But in this case, it's one of the most disturbing things I've seen. And I want everybody to see it because I think that people need to see and respond to this. So I guess it's a two-part question. Should there have been a warning? And what do you want people to do on the other side of viewing this?
Wow, that's a lot. We do have a website at the end of the show that you can go where we offer, people who are affected by climate-related anxiety. It's become a whole field. I can tell you that in my experience, and I'm someone who has spent a fair amount of time immersed in not only the science, but imagining what the science portends. Like the best I've felt in the last few years is going to work every day with a bunch of people who talked about and focused on these problems. And so I think like any movement, community and company and storytelling are what galvanize us and protect us. When people talk about, well, geez, what about hope? To me, you just got to start replacing the word hope with the word courage and find characters and examples of people who had courage in the face of difficulty. And that circles back to storytelling. People may not think of Aaron Brockovich as a, climate or environmental film. And yet it really is, because we met someone who is from a certain background, who made a series of choices and took on, a big bad company. So, that's the first part is I think, you do have the power against this. You really do. And the narrative that you've been fed, sadly, is very similar to the narrative that, we're watching again, that we can't we can't do anything about assault rifles. We can't do anything about racism. We're hopelessly divided over abortion. And so all of these things somehow are supposed to be taken away from me as a storyteller. And I really wonder where that leads us as a society, because I learned a lot about the world around me from a movie like Serpico. I learned about corruption. All of the movies that I've learned, Edward's movie that took on white supremacy was incredibly interesting to me and helped illuminate that. If we make everything that's challenging something that needs to have a warning label, I really worry about, the future of storytelling. I don't think that it exists merely as escapism, because if we keep using it just as escapism, the place that we have to return to afterwards is just going to get worse and worse.